Hello friends, family and other creatures of the sea, welcome back to another high level game of StarCraft 2. Today in the top right, spawning as our yellow proto player, playing for team LTK. It is Nina. Not quite sure what team that is, LTK, but that is what Nina is playing for right now. And in the bottom left as our blue Terran player, personal favorite of mine, it's going to be Gumiho. Gumiho, by the way, who is a pretty decent football player. The other day when we were at Home Story Cup, we organized, and when I say we, I mean Lambo, organized a little bit of a football match with a couple of Koreans, a couple of foreigners as well in there. And we had a fantastic time. Gumiho was there. He was on my team. He had a banger of a team. I had Neep, Wardy, Elaser, myself, and Gumiho in there. We were solid. We were really solid. Won a bunch of our matches, drew one of them, but didn't lose a single time. And Gumiho was one of these players you really did want to have on your team. Worked very, very hard. And just kept going, even when he was tired. And God, we were tired very quickly, because apparently pro gamers don't have the greatest stamina, myself included. But yeah, Gumiho, fantastic football player, but an even better StarCraft 2 player. That's what we're here to watch, obviously. Moving towards the right side with his Reaper, where Nina did have her probe hidden. Just checking out the watchtower. Is going to find a factory. So Gumiho once again with a cheeky build order. Gumiho is one of these players that just loves to open up with slightly offbeat openers. He's one of the Terrans that I currently enjoy watching the most. There's extreme build order diversity, and really extreme build order diversity. This is no joke, you know. Whenever Gumiho feels like he can get away with, he'll play. The other day I watched a game versus Neep where he opened up with triple starport battlecruiser, and yes, that literally was the opener. It wasn't like a 4 factory or like a triple Rex bio opener into 3 starports. No, it was a barracks, a factory, and then 3 starports going down off of 3 bases. A crap ton of BCs were built in that game. A fantastic game if you haven't checked it out yet. It is on this channel, I believe, as well at this point already. And yeah, I just had a great time. And I've been falling in love with Gumiho a bit before that as well. Just the series that he played against Serral, I don't want to spoil it, at Home Story Cup were fantastic. Some of the games in there. Just a lot of build orders that are slightly different. But then he also has a really strong mid game. And that was one of these things that you often kind of looked at Gumiho in the past before he went to the military, and it was like, hey, like, you have cool build orders and some cool tricks, but how solid really are you? And right now I think he's more solid than he's ever been in that mid-game phase, in the late game as well. I really understand the decision making, the movement and the control. But enough talking, as it's time for some action. We have a triple Hellion drop perhaps, or just a straight up attack here, going towards the natural. Nina not in time with a block, either with a pylon or a gateway or whatever. Swappy control out of Gumiho. Not going to get quite as many units as he perhaps would have wanted. Feels like this is just going to work. This is a TVT build order, and Gumiho is bringing it to a Terran versus Protoss. A lot of Stalkers are just going down. These Reapers have so much longevity with this medevac around as well. We see the medevac moving on top of the Reaper and the Hellions right now, perhaps wanting to pick him up. Not too many probes have died yet. To be exact, it's 5, 6, maybe more, 7? Yep, 8. Okay, that's actually a lot. 8 workers is indeed quite a lot of workers. As Nina's blink is about to finish up, and there's no real other tech. I mean, we have a robotics facility, but it's 23 workers, it's 29 supply against 40. Yes, Gumiho's natural base also is pretty late, but still, he has 30 workers against Nina's 24. It's not entirely what Nina wants in this type of scenario. BC, proxy BC as a follow-up, of course. What else would it be? As we're watching Gumiho, I didn't even notice the fusion core constructing during this. Now, I love battlecruisers as much as any other guy. Don't get me wrong, but it does feel like the only thing that could kind of lose Gumiho the game here is by doing something a bit wonky. At this point I say, hey, just follow this up with like a 3 Rex tank push. You're legit up 5, 6 workers. If a Terran is up in workers, that means the income is even higher, like way higher, because you also have the double Mule working for you, of course. And Mule is worth about, what was it, 3.4 workers or so? So it's, yeah, basically right now Gumiho is just up, well, I can't do math, but otherwise I tell you that it was, I think, 11 or so. 11-ish, 10 to 11-ish workers. The starport is not quite being spotted here by Nina, but she starts to move across the map. We have 5 stalkers making their way across the map. Observer is there as well. This BC is going to get a very fortunate timing, I want to say. And an unfortunate timing for Nina, who doesn't have anything at home. No batteries. We see 4 probes just idling. Have they been idling this entire time? Pray to the Protoss Gateway. Yeah, sure. We brought you minerals for a sacrifice. Gateways don't eat minerals. It's not that I'm aware of. It's not actually that much at home here, though, for Gumiho. He's going to lose a couple of workers. BC makes its way in towards the main base. We have the Stalker recall coming in. Still teleport available on this BC. He actually taking a little bit of damage right now. Needs to be careful with that. Does not want to lose the battlecruiser. Second battlecruiser is being constructed. We have a second barracks as well. So this... Okay, I don't actually quite understand what this is. It seems to be BC into bio. We have an eBay coming in as well. Stim hasn't started yet. Gumiho still up a solid 24, 25 supply. Triple eBay coming down right now. Okay, that is a move that I haven't quite seen before. Perhaps wants to... Ooh. What if Gumiho is strolling at this point and says, hey, I'm so far ahead. I'm gonna get like high-sec auto-tracking. I'm gonna fly my command center over and just planetary continue. If Gumiho does that, I'll have an infinite amount of respect for him. Even more than I already did. That would be uber cool, wouldn't it? Okay. Double eBays do finish up. Third eBay gets cancelled. I guess it's not gonna be the high-sec auto-tracking or the building armor. A man can dream though. But there's really no point in dreaming anymore because that dream is dead. Nina moving towards a third base, 7 minutes and 45 seconds into the game. First disruptor is out already, perhaps for some safety. Ooh, this PC might be capable of actually sniping this worker before the Nexus even goes down. Yeah, Nina's just in a lot of trouble right now. Disruptor wanted to make its way across the map, perhaps to catch some of the bio cores, but will not quite be capable of doing that. The problem is that these stalkers just can't move anywhere right now. Like that is actually the biggest issue that we're currently having, is that the moment the stalkers leave the main base, these BCs fly in, they'll be capable of dealing a lot of damage. At this point, Nina doesn't even know if the BCs are still there, or where they are, which is also super frustrating, of course. You can't really move out in that case. Stalkers are going for a little bit of a hunting party, might be capable of getting this starport down. It's not the end of the world, though, for Gumiho. Gumiho is going to spot this and will immediately see... I think the BC just moved into a position, right? Where it can deal some damage? No. Stalkers go back home, don't quite find the starport either. Another BC on the way. So Gumiho is not giving up on this idea of building BCs. There's also tanks out right now. It feels like the game is somewhat stabilizing. Still believe Gumiho is very far ahead. I mean, up 6 workers, up a mining base, up 20-ish supply. There's 3 battlecruisers, which, despite them being very expensive, can actually be somewhat useful. Falling a little bit low. Very careful with that battlecruiser. Really needs to be careful with those battlecruisers. Can't afford to lose him. It's really the only thing keeping Nina at home. Combat shield, as well as concussive shell being researched right now. We have a new fusion core on the way, because 1 fusion core isn't enough. Triple eBay, double fusion core. I mean, why not? I actually don't know what this fusion core is even going to be for at this point. Like, what do you even want with a fusion core right now? You have this army moving out. I just don't get it. Armory? Oh, maybe he wanted to build an armory and thought, I just might have misclicked on the fusion core instead. Well, that actually does happen to the best. Did a single BC go down yet? No. Pretty low on HP, both of these. Wouldn't even mind if they go back home. This army could potentially catch this. Gumiho moving in. It's going to lose a lot of these marines to a single disruptor shot. Nina with that disruptor shot perhaps clawing her way back into the game. 5 pylons being constructed at the same time. 1 pylon is going to get taken out, so 5 pylons will come in use. First BC is going to teleport back home. 2 kills only on that bad boy. 7 kills on this one. And a Stalker gets Yamato to death. At the same time, this army is going to not just get stopped. It's getting crushed right here. A lot of disruptors already over here. It's going to be super useful. We have a 4th BC... No, wait. 1 BC must have died then, no? No. Was this just a third BC? What? I really thought there already was 3 battle cruisers out. Am I going wild? I might be going a little wild. Happens to the best though. As if he's going to get taken out. The Zealot will try and get some vision here on the bottom side. Still doesn't see this starport. +1 vehicle weapons on the way. 4th base being constructed. Gumiho's position is really odd right now. Can't really move on the map because there's so much supply and units that aren't great at fighting necessarily. But at the same time, it does feel like Gumiho needs to leverage his advantage that he has. You can't just go into a late game from here on out. Well, you can, but it just doesn't make a lot of sense. It feels like there should be an opportunity somewhere for a kill. If you're up 10 workers the entire game, surely there's an opportunity somewhere. We now have the, what do you call this? The advanced ballistics? Is that what you call it? Yeah. Also known as the lip range. Gives them 3 extra range when in, what's it called? Defender mode. I had no clue that was called defender mode. It's very rarely often used for defense as well. Usually it's one of these things that's just for offense. Defender mode. An ironic name. Alright, this is not an army that can fight against 4 disruptors, I think. Unless the control on Gumiho's side is very good. He does have very good control. 2-2 also isn't quite done yet. I wouldn't mind if Gumiho just takes it a little slow. This is going to be a pretty decent engagement here, potentially. Oh my god, a lot of these Zealots actually getting hit by the disruptors. At the same time, all tanks end up getting cleared up. And we have triple BCs moving in towards a rather interesting position. Blink forward, 1 BC falling low. Is not going to get taken out though. Do we have another Stalker warp in here? No, we do not quite yet, at least. The blink in could make the difference. Here we go, here we go. That BC definitely gonna fall. No! Just in time, Gumiho. Beautiful stuff. 2-2 about to finish up as well. A couple of Marauders and Marines on the right side. We have a big Bioforce as well over here. Scans in. We'll take out 2-3 Zealots before the fight even starts. And 2-2 finally finishes up as well at the same time. 5th base on the way. 4th base is flying over. I'd love to see a Ghost Academy at this point here for Gumiho. And 3-3 is already starting. We're going to get a fight at some point where Nina will be at +1 attack. Or sorry, +2 attack, +1 armor against 3-3. So she'll be down 3 upgrades. Well, right now she's already down 3 upgrades. It's not quite brilliant. Fighting in this type of scenario is so difficult. I mean, disruptors ignore armor, or largely ignore it. It doesn't really matter. You're gonna kill a Marine and a Marauder one shot all the time. So yeah. It's not like it matters, the attack upgrades from disruptors, I was trying to say. It's still nice to have some extra armor on them, but if your main DPS comes from disruptors, it's not the biggest deal. Here come the Lips heading towards the main base, setting up in that defender mode. We'll defend this area, those liberation zones. At the same time, I think there was a BC that just teleported towards the far right side. Yep, there we go, another Stalker warp in. Now one of them might actually end up falling. No, we don't have any units in position. 1 blink underneath this could honestly help so much. 2-2 upgrades, putting in the work over here on that right side. As Gumiho is having an absolute blast here. Another pilot gets taken out by Nina. As a disruptor shot kind of whiffs one of the own proto structures. Tough spot here for the yellow Protoss player. This BC definitely is gonna die. Second BC might be capable of escaping at least for a little bit longer. This BC teleported in. Got a Yamato off and a couple of workers going down. Colossi ended up falling as well. Once again, we have to scan in the main base. And once again, we have these units dropping down as well. Still no Ghost Academy. It's scaring me a little bit, but perhaps not quite the end of the world. These trades are going to be fantastic once again over here for Gumiho. I mean, these Stalkers against 2-2 units with this many Medivacs as well, it won't be too great. This Disruptor Shot will hit, and that's force back these Medivacs. BC will get taken out. Is that the final battle cruiser? No, there's still one alive over here that's idling in the semi-dead space. I'm not even sure if this is completely safe. It doesn't quite feel like it. Yamato is available. Another pilot is going to get taken out. Gumiho letting Nina completely back into the game. 4 more barracks on the way at this point, with how many out already? 5, so that's going up to 9 barracks. We have a Ghost Academy. We have 2 more command centers as well. I have a feeling that Gumiho is semi-trolling and now sees this game slip away from him. He's still in control, but there is a world imaginable in which Nina takes a fight, pushes across the map and wins a game. I do believe that this was played on the NA server, so that means with a slight ping advantage here for Nina. And ping is very important when you're playing with disruptors. Disruptor balls already going to be hitting. Tank's actually taking a bit of a beating here, and this is the fight I was talking about. Big disruptor balls everywhere. The Colossi is still alive. 2 blinks forward, Tanks will fall, and just like that, Nina's ahead. An absolutely unlosable game here for Gumiho. As Gumiho shows us that it is still possible to lose. He's doing the impossible, but not, you know, the good way around. It's not a positive. That's a pretty insane comeback so far here for Nina. Now, once again, the game is not over, but Nina does have a little bit of an advantage right now. At least when it comes to army composition. At least when it comes to army composition, she has a bit of an advantage. There's a bunch of disruptors in here. This Protoss player has map control. They have a single marine working on this nexus. It's very ambitious, but it's not going to end up working. We already have a zealot moving over. We'll take out this marine. Saw some balls flying around on the mini-map at the same time. Kept my eye on that, making sure we didn't miss a major fight. Big EMPs are hitting. The splits are okay, but not brilliant. The thing with splitting defensively against disruptors is that you don't get anything from it. Like, you mitigate some damage, but you're not getting kills. You're not trading. You're losing. You're just losing less because of good split. So if you're just constantly defensively splitting, it's a bad thing. Often as a Terran playing against disruptors, you're gonna need some type of objective. And in this case, that was taking out that base. Objective achieved. Right now we have an immediate counterattacker coming out of Nina. Still on 80 workers, a bunch of disruptors, 5th base is being taken, battle cruiser moving in. Is this a new BC? I think it is. But without any upgrades on that BC, this isn't going to work, and these stalkers are fantastic. At the same time, more disruptor shots are going across the map. Gumiho forced into a little bit of a base trade. Let's see if this disruptor can help out Nina. I think it might just be capable of doing that. It's going to hit in a big way, but is it big enough? I'm not so sure. Nina is up in supply, but down in upgrades. We have a nuke on the way. We have 4 base. Ooh, this orbital going down is actually kind of bad. It's 4 base versus 5 base. For the first time in this game, Nina is ahead. In the eco, here comes a big flank. Though Nina not quite aware of it, is going to lose a lot of these disruptors before the fight truly happens. Or before she even realizes the flank is there. We get a recall right now. 1 more Colossi is going to fall. Was that another one that went down? No, it was like legit, what, 47 HP on that Colossus. Nina still at 3 disruptors though. Upgrades about even. Nina up a base. And right now Gumiho is questioning himself. Why in the world did I decide to go into battlecruiser tank? That makes no sense whatsoever. But it's been one hell of a comeback. It's been one hell of a comeback. Good fight after good fight after good fight for Nina. Now it's Gumiho who needs a couple of good fights. His army composition consisting of 23 marines, 23 marauders, 33 marines. Not that many medevac, and that means that a couple of stims like this are really going to hurt, given how marauder heavy this army is. Don't forget that marauder stims take a little bit more HP away. 54 workers here for Gumiho as well means that his income, even when at equal bases, isn't going to be brilliant. Nina's 4th base got taken away later. Hell, even her 3rd base got taken away later, and that means that it's going to have more mineral patches available still. Ghosts are being constructed. We once again have a BC on the way. These BCs, I'm just not really feeling them, honestly. I much would have preferred seeing a couple of extra Liberators being added. Observer, actually, very high value right now. Could potentially get a couple of good Purification Novas. Oh, here they come. Gumiho pays attention. It's not going to get hit. 6 more Ghosts on the way. These are, well, 6 more. There's 0 right now, so 6 Ghosts on the way, period. That is about it. Blink forward. We'll go under the orbital command. As Gumiho stims in, making sure there's no disruptor or any type of storm waiting over here. 5 medevacs, 6 medevacs somewhere on the map as well. Not quite sure where. Ooh! Will end up falling. This army is getting a little bit overstimmed right now. stims in a row and just not enough healing. Energy still very high on these medevacts, but is it enough? I'm not so sure. This Nexus might end up falling. There's another Nexus already on the way. We have this base going up for Gumiho. Gumiho. It feels like the only plan for Gumiho currently is to go for base trade. Continue to go for base trade. We have a recall towards the main base. An entire army recall for a single PC. Surely that's not really worth it, is it? Yeah, PCs can just teleport as well, so definitely isn't worth it. But perhaps with these stalkers underneath, this battlecruiser is going to get taken. 6 HP battlecruiser. Is this in range of anything? I feel like this is not safe. You can shoot that now. You gotta be kidding me. Is it dead space? Unbelievable. Big drop in towards the main base. No more recall available because it was just used. And now Nina, after trying so hard this entire game, clawing her way back into it, could be in a little bit of trouble with all of this production potentially going down. We still have 2 gateways on the natural. We have 2 robos as well downstairs. But she's completely maxed. There's no Dark Shrine. It is being constructed as we speak. But there's no way there will ever be supply available for those Dark Templar. This base is going to get taken out by the Stalkers. At the same time, we have a defensive squad set up here out of me. That's a lot of ghosts. That's 7 ghosts. We could even be seeing a bit of a nuke perhaps here. We do have Cloak as well. Super Bunker. With those Neo Steel Frame armor, whatever it's called. Yeah, that wasn't a great fight for Gumiho. Still does have a couple of units on the map though. Maybe we would have preferred even holding the high ground here, if you're the Terran player. Flyer command center away, just hold the high ground. Put 2-3 liberators in this area, and kind of play it from there with your base trade army. Look at how low these medevacts are going at this point though. We have 2 empty medevacts and another stim. 3 medevacts that are almost empty, but not quite. At the same time, behind the main base. Nexi are falling. Will continue falling for a while. I can only imagine. Liberator makes its way back home. With this type of disruptor counter, there's actually no way you can keep a planetary alive. Shoot. Ideally, you want to keep 1 disruptor alive to kill the SCVs. Oh my god, that was really poorly done. Liberator is going to get blasted here, but the planetary lives for a bit longer. And although it will eventually die, this means that Gumiho now has a little bit more time for these little base trading moves. Going to find the probes in the top left side. Very lucky here. Final Nexus currently for Nina that is pretending to be mining. Gumiho had a way lower army supply than his opponent, but he is mining more currently. Still has some barracks available, has free supply as well. If these probes end up dying in the top left side, I'm not saying it's possible, but I'm saying that it might be possible. So, yeah, it might be possible, actually. These Stalkers and 2 Zealots. This is what? 14 supply? 98 minus 14. That's 84. Do we have a recall available? Even if we do, I think half of that's going to die before the recall even finishes. Yeah, that's exactly half. Slightly more. 8 supply dying there. Out of 14. Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh! Oh, no! Oh, here for Nina, perhaps. She's going to lose a couple of these Zealots. At the same time, big flank coming in. Are there enough Stalkers to kill these medevacts is the question that I currently have. The answer might be mayhaps? Yes? No? Maybe? I don't know. Ooh! If every single Stalker goes down, that could have been bad, but that's not really what happened here. PC is on the way. We have... Yeah, okay, now this game is pretty over. This game actually is pretty over at this point. Nina's still mining from this base. The 25-minute pause after destroying everything. I mean, you can decide when someone knocks on your door or when Amazon man delivers the package. I always pause whenever I want. It's a power play though, I like that. That's a big power play. Final Marines are going to end up dying, and I think this is crazy. This is actually crazy. I think Gumiho is gonna be hitting himself in the head tonight a couple of times. Well, this is an old replay, so probably not tonight. The night that he played this game. Would be wild if he'd still be doing it tonight. And some Uber kills that would last for like a week or so. 5 days. You wake up and you're hitting your head again. Truly live for at that point. Well, depots are gonna get taken out. I mean, we have 3 Nexi. There's 24 probes total. This battle cruiser is, I mean, I'm sure you're gonna have a grand time with that BC, but it's also just a base. Gumiho's still aware that there's a base over here. Gumiho aware that there's a base over here. There's plenty of anti-air available. Plenty of anti-air. Of course, otherwise that actually would have been a potential way for Gumiho to win, is if you snipe every anti-air unit and there's no production left. I mean, that is a way that you can win games, by killing all the anti-air. That's one of the oldest tricks in the book. It's the same with DTs, of course. You snipe all detection, you have an invisible unit. Yeah, you can win games, but I think there's just so many Archons. There's too many Stalkers as well. The upgrades for the BCs are simply too poor on top of that. I am just not seeing it happen here, honestly. And I'm not quite sure what Gumiho is seeing in this game either. 2 extra gateways about to finish up for Nina. 2 are already finished. That means we're going up to a total of 4. This BC is taking some big damage and will not be in time with the teleport either. Which means he's going to get taken out. GG gets called after that BC loss and Nina wins. A most unlikely game. The first 15 minutes, I think. She literally has nothing to say in this game. Nothing. Look at this. Dead. Completely over. Some true grit staying in here. After this fight, I started to believe a little, but still dead. I mean, down 2 upgrades, down like a base and a half. It doesn't look good. It really doesn't look good. Then you get this drop, and after this drop, I truly believe the game was over. I must have handled this better than I thought it was being handled at the time. I mean, it really still looks over. And then there's one fight that completely changed the game. And from that point on, I think Nina's actually better than this one, right? Yeah. For control out of Gumiho. No ghost against the max Protoss army. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I like upgrades as much as every other Terran, but that's pushing it. Alright, that's going to be it for me today. Thanks so much for watching. If you did enjoy this game as much as I did, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see all of you next time for a new video. Thank you, and bye bye.